Somewhere over the black forests of Washington state, on a freezing rainy night in November 1971, a rear door opened on a passenger jet at 10,000 feet. Cold air roared into the cabin. The aircraft shuddered slightly as a weight shifted at the tail, and a man in a business suit and thin loafers with $200,000 strapped to his body stepped off the stairs into the howling dark. The wind swallowed him instantly. No one saw him fall. No one saw him land. No one ever saw him again. He had no name that anyone could trace. He left no body anyone ever found. He committed the only unsolved skyjacking in American history, and then, quite literally, disappeared into thin air. They called him D.B. Cooper, and more than 50 years later, he is still out there, in the only place a person can truly vanish. The space between what we know and what we can never prove. This is Dark Thread. Pull it with me. Let's go back to the beginning and feel how ordinary it was, because that's the first unsettling thing about this story. The day before Thanksgiving 1971, a man in a dark suit and a black clip-on tie buys a one-way ticket under the name Dan Cooper. He is utterly forgettable, middle-aged, quiet, calm. He boards the plane, settles into a seat near the back, orders a bourbon and soda, and lights a cigarette. Just another tired businessman flying home for the holiday. Then he passes a note to a flight attendant, who assumes it's a flirtation and tucks it away without reading it. He leans toward her and murmurs that she really ought to read it. She does. It says he has a bomb, and here is the detail that crawls under your skin. Throughout everything that follows, the hours of tension, the demands, the waiting, witnesses described Cooper as calm, polite, unhurried. He ordered another drink. He offered to have meals brought for the crew. He was, by every account, the most relaxed person on that aircraft. A man holding an airliner hostage as though he were waiting for a bus. Whoever he was, he had done this in his mind 100 times. The calm was the mask of someone who already knew how the night would end, or thought he did. The demands came like items read off a list. $200,000 in $20 bills, 4 parachutes, a fuel truck standing by in Seattle. The plane circled the city for 2 hours while the money was gathered. When it landed, the ransom and the parachutes were carried aboard, and Cooper, true to his word, let everyone go. 36 passengers, 2 crew members walked off into the Seattle night, never knowing how close they'd been to whatever this man truly was. And then his final instruction, the one that turns a hijacking into a ghost story. Take off again. Fly low. Fly slow. Point the aircraft toward Mexico, drop below 10,000 feet, and leave the plane unpressurized. He was preparing the sky for his exit. With the crew sealed inside the cockpit, the plane lifted back into the storm. Not long after, a light blinked on the instrument panel, the rear stairway deploying in flight. Over the intercom, the crew asked if he needed anything. A single word came back: no. That word is the last trace of him. After that, only silence, a subtle shift in cabin pressure around 8:13 that night, a small bump felt through the airframe, and then nothing at all. When the plane touched down, the stairs hung open into the dark and the seat was empty. He was already gone, falling through freezing rain into a wilderness that has never given him back. Here is what makes this case a true dark thread, the kind that doesn't let you sleep quite right. The not knowing runs in 2 directions, and both are haunting. Maybe he died. Picture it. A man plunging into a black, frozen night in a business suit over jagged forest, with a parachute he couldn't test. One of the ones he was handed was a sewn-shut training dummy that would never have opened. If that's the truth, then somewhere in the vast Washington wilderness for over 50 years, there have been bones no one has found, scattered under the pine needles, the last of a man whose real name died with him. A skeleton with a secret and no one to tell. Or maybe he lived. Maybe the calm was earned, the skill was real, and he steered himself down through the storm, buried his gear, walked out of the woods at dawn and simply became someone else. Went back to a job, a family, a quiet street. sat at Thanksgiving tables for decades with the world's most famous unsolved crime folded silently inside him, and carried it, unspoken, all the way to an ordinary grave. Sit with which one disturbs you more, the lonely bones in the forest, or the neighbor who smiled at you and never said a word. This case offers you both, and forces you to choose, and gives you no way to ever know if you chose right. The one physical whisper the darkness ever returned came 9 years later. A little boy digging in the sand on a riverbank called Tina Bar uncovers a rotting bundle of cash. It's Cooper's money, some of the ransom, weathered and decayed but real. The serial numbers matching exactly, and it explains nothing. It surfaces in the wrong place, in the wrong condition, fitting no clean version of the story. Did the river carry it there from a dead man? Did a living man lose it or plant it? It's the darkness handing back a single torn page from a book it will never let you finish. Just enough to prove the story was real, not enough to tell you how it ended. After that, nothing more. No body, no name, no further trace. The FBI chased the ghost for 45 years and finally, in 2016, quietly stopped, and the file passed fully into legend. Here's where I'll leave you, and it's the thought this case always leaves in the dark. We like to believe that people can't just vanish, that in the end, the truth surfaces, the name is found, the story closes. D.B. Cooper is the proof that sometimes it doesn't. A man walked onto a plane, took what he wanted, opened a door in the sky, and stepped through it into a silence that has held for half a century. He beat it. Whether he lived or died, he beat the one thing we all assume is inescapable, being known. He is out there still, in the forests or in a forgotten grave, or in the fading memory of someone who once knew a quiet man with a strange, faraway calm. The plane landed. The seat was empty. The door hung open into the night, and the dark, as it sometimes does, simply kept him. If this thread held you, the next one on your screen follows another figure who slipped through the space between the known and the proven, and was never caught. The full collection is linked in the description below. Subscribe to Dark Thread for the mysteries that don't let go every week. And tell me in the comments, when you picture that night, do you see a man who lived or a man who fell? There's no right answer, only the one that haunts you. See you in the dark.